This past weekend, a Minecraft movie officially released, and the build up to this movie wasn't very good because everyone was like, this movie's going to be bad and things. And of course, the critics gave this a 49, where the audiences gave it an 87. Now, this is a common thing with video game movies, is that the critics just don't like the movie, but audiences always really do get a good kick out of these movies. And this is a common example. Here we look at the Mario movie, which got a 59% from critics but a 95% from audiences. A massive gap there. This was 1% off being fresh, and they just thought the story was paper thin. It was just a cash grab, but it was just a love letter to Mario fans. And I think the big thing here is critics this age just didn't grow up with Mario the same way that audiences did. So there's a level of bias here, and they just didn't feel that same connection that the audiences did. Despite not having quite as big of a gap, Detective Pikachu got a 78 and the audiences gave it a 79. So there's not too much of a gap there, only by 11%, and they still did get fresh, but audiences still just didn't give it that high of a rating because they just didn't connect with the world of Pokemon all that much. And that's a common thing, is audiences just don't feel as much of that nostalgia, and they're more looking for impact and story and things like that. Same goes for the Sonic movies. The first Sonic movie only got a 64 and a 93 audiences, and the second one received 69 critics and 96 audience. However, the critics kind of changed their mind here with Sonic 3 because they gave it an 85 and audiences gave it a 95, so they accepted it a bit more, and it did have a bit of a stronger story, so I guess they appreciated that. And of course, Borderlands, I mean, it was a bad movie, so the 10% is kind of acceptable, maybe a little bit too low, but audiences only gave it a 49, so they still enjoyed it a bit more because of the Borderlands stuff, but still not that big. So why is this? I think it's because these video game movies and shows do try and aim towards fans of the games and less towards people who are outside of that genre. So people just don't connect as much with it who didn't grow up with it. But the audiences, the people who did grow up with it, really, really did. And Minecraft's maybe not the greatest example because it did have a clunky story and it could have been a lot better. But still, I had a lot of fun with it. I really loved Minecraft. So it was a fun movie.